We got a 2009 Hyundai Sonata with a 2.4 litre engine. Our battery light is coming on here. The engine running is at 12 volts. We're going to replace the alternator. Alright, we should be able to reach down here with our 17mm. Yep, get that belt out. Alright, so there's 3 bolts that were holding on the power steering pump. So a little bit of spray lubricant, a little wiggle back and forward, and it came right out of there. So we've taken this bolt out, but there's another long bolt underneath. Now that one's a little tricky. So yeah, using this setup, I was actually able to get down there and loosen up that bolt. This bottom joint was definitely very difficult. So what I ended up doing was putting the bolt back through there in a chain, get some spray oil to try and get in there. You know, little tugs back and forward to work it out and loosen it up and get it out of there. It's kind of a pain, but just take it easy. So very important, on the back of the alternator, there is a large power cable. That is connected to the battery. So you do not want to start undoing this until you disconnect the battery. So often you're going to drop stuff down there. Having one of these comes in handy to fish out stuff you drop. I use these constantly. I ended up moving the engine shroud out of the way, which was pretty easy to do, and it gave us definitely a lot more space down here. Just be careful of your radiator. This is what it must be like to be a fisherman. Now time to get a new one and we'll go through the install. We came in through here, sort of had to maneuver it around a little bit, but it's in there now. So that bottom bolt's in there, and then this just slides up and we'll put the other bolt on. Our new alternator, it's all in nice and tight. Make sure everything's connected back up. We put the wires on the back, everything's good. So now we're going to put the power steering pump back. There's 3 bolts. There's one on the top, one here, and one on the bottom. The bottom's a long bolt. What I ended up doing is kind of, again, using a little spray oil to where the bolts line up and just kind of jiggled it in there. I got the top bolt lined up. I ended up having to use a mirror like this. So I screwed that in 3/4 of the way, and then I got the bottom and the other side bolt in. So once that top one was in, I could sort of twist it a little bit and then get the other 2 bolts lined up. So there's 2 10mm bolts. These go straight up into the subframe. We've got the crankshaft exposed, and it's going to be a lot easier for my son to hold this on there. So it's looking good so far. A little bit of overkill, but sometimes I find taking off more stuff is easier than fighting with everything. Alright, so we've done a good job. We've got everything back together. This intake hose is on, the shroud is on, everything's in place. And we're ready to give this thing a start and hopefully job well done. And if that's the case, we'll put the rest of the car back together and take it for a drive. Let's give her a quick start. Alright, fantastic. Check the volts. Look at that, 14.2 volts. Alright, we're in business. Job well done.